Well, hey guys, Dr. Whitney Bowe here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is all about beef tallow. Beef tallow is getting a lot of airtime right now on social media.
I will literally never stop talking about this because beef tallow has changed my life entirely.
And there are claims out there ranging from, it's deeply hydrating without clogging the pores, to it's anti-aging, to people claiming that it's clearing up their acne. So what's the deal? What's the science behind this ingredient? And what do I, as a board certified dermatologist, think about beef tallow? And should you swap out your moisturizer for beef tallow? So for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Whitney Bowe. I'm a board certified dermatologist. I'm a research scientist. I'm the founder of Dr. Whitney Bowe Beauty, which is a skincare line, which means that I am completely obsessed with ingredients and formulating products. So if you're interested in hearing all about skincare, injectables, in-office procedures, treating your skin from the inside out, or topics about product formulation, ingredients, what products I recommend, then be sure to subscribe. All right, let's dive in. Beef tallow. So beef tallow is animal fat. It's that secret ingredient that many fast food restaurants, including McDonald's, used to deep fry their French fries in. It's one of the reasons why they used to taste so good. So what's going on now? So people are using beef tallow in skincare. So usually the ones the kind that's being sourced for skincare is usually from grass-fed beef. And it's usually mixed with a blend of essential oils in order to sort of mask the base odor of the beef tallow, and then it's put into a jar. First, let's look at some of the potential benefits of topical beef tallow in your skincare routine. So first of all, beef tallow contains vitamins A and vitamin F. So vitamin A is actually a great ingredient topically in skincare, but is it going to be as beneficial, as effective, as powerful as other forms of vitamin A that I often recommend, including retinol, retinal, tretinoin? No, those are going to be a lot more effective and more powerful when it comes to delivering results and the benefits that you would expect from vitamin A. Now, what about vitamin F? So vitamin F is actually one of my favorite ingredients that you want to be using in a product that's sort of the final step in your skincare routine. Vitamin F refers to two essential fatty acids, linoleic acid and linolenic acid. And those are both incredibly soothing, nourishing ingredients that are excellent for hydrating the skin. Interestingly, people who have acne tend to have lower levels of linoleic acid on their skin. And so replenishing that linoleic acid, using a product that contains linoleic acid topically on the skin, could actually potentially help with preventing breakouts. Now, what's also interesting is that products that contain linoleic acid can feel very rich on the skin. The products that have vitamin F, linoleic acid, and linolenic acid, they can feel really rich, but they tend not to clog the pores as readily as you would expect given that kind of consistency. But you don't need beef tallow to get your vitamin F, okay? So there are actually there are plant-based alternatives that are rich in vitamin F, including rosehip oil, safflower seed oil. I love seeing those ingredients on a label, on an ingredient list. You can also look for the actual words, linoleic acid, linolenic acid, on the ingredient list as well. So those are alternatives to beef tallow that are still going to give you the vitamin F that your skin is craving. Now, as a dermatologist, I love recommending products that have vitamin F as a final step in your skincare routine. So over a moisturizer. They're beautiful products, and I really like them as that final step. Even when I'm prepping some of my celebrity patients for red carpet events, I recommend that they use a hydrating serum followed by a moisturizer, followed by some kind of a balm or oil that contains vitamin F. It just gives you this beautiful, healthy glow, even the day of the big event. Okay, so what are the main drawbacks of beef tallow? Well, the first is that it's got oleic acid. It's got a relatively high concentration of oleic acid. So oleic acid is also found in olive oil, and I am not a fan of oils or ingredients that have a relatively high concentration of oleic acid for two reasons. So oleic acid, first, I found that, a lot of my patients who use products that have oleic acid, they find that it clogs their pores. And secondly, it actually can disrupt the skin barrier. Now we know that in products and oils, some of that oleic acid is bound up in the form of triglycerides. So we're not sure exactly how much of that free oleic acid is being released onto the skin to do that damage. But, I have seen some issues with my patients along the way. So in general, I'm not a huge fan of using leave-on products with either olive oil or any ingredient that is relatively high in oleic acid. And now it's hard to avoid oleic acid altogether in skincare, but it's really about that ratio. It's thinking about how much linoleic acid versus oleic acid is in a particular ingredient, and you really want that ratio to be more favorable in terms of having more linoleic acid and less oleic acid. And that is the case with ingredients like rosehip oil and safflower seed oil. They have very nice ratios of linoleic acid compared to oleic acid. Now, another sort of con or downside when it comes to beef tallow is that many of these products that I've seen on the market are also mixed with essential oils. Now, some people can tolerate essential oils just fine, but I have several patients who have sensitive skin who, when they use products that have leave-on essential oils in them, it tends to increase the risk of having reactions in the skin. So I'm not a huge fan of leave-on products that have essential oils, especially if you have more sensitive skin or a history of allergies. And I've yet to see a beef tallow brand that's actually invested in clinical studies to prove safety or efficacy. To me, that's a really big deal. As a dermatologist, as a research scientist, as a brand founder, I specifically look for ingredients, products that actually have clinical studies behind them. When I was developing my Bowe Glow Cream, my moisturizer with Dr. Whitney Bowe Beauty, we invested heavily in clinical studies. So when we say that it repairs the skin barrier, we're actually measuring something called TOOL, transepidermal water loss. When we say it increases hydration, we're measuring corneometry. When we say it's, impacting the skin microbiome, we're doing next generation sequencing technology. That's how I roll, and when it comes to recommending products to my patients, I really take that into account. I want to see that those final products have been put to the test and proven to be safe as well as effective. And then of course, last, cruelty-free. That's a really big deal to me. And these beef tallow products are not really falling under the category of cruelty-free. And I think that we've made such progress in the world of skincare, to really try to make products that are more sustainable and cruelty-free. And unfortunately, to me, this is a little bit of a step back. So at the end of the day, am I gonna slather beef tallow all over my face? No. But I do love seeing these comments from you guys, having you guys tag me in these videos and responding to trends and weighing in using my background and my expertise. So I hope you guys found this useful, and definitely like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.